Woke up wrapped in velvet skies. Diamonds sparking.
What happens when you swap your everyday life for billionaire status? In this wild 24-hour challenge, I go full throttle into a world of private jets, supercars, $10,000 dinners, and jaw-dropping luxury. But it's not all champagne and caviar. Here's what really happens when you live like a billionaire for just one day. What happens when an ordinary person steps into the world of unimaginable luxury for just 24 hours? Not the Instagram highlights. The real billionaire experience. Private jets, Michelin star meals, a hotel suite bigger than most homes, and a personal assistant anticipating your every need before you even speak. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, I decided to live it. But this isn't just a flex. It's a deep dive into a life most of us only glimpse from afar. I wanted to understand what money really buys, not just in things, but in time, access, and power. What surprised me wasn't the gold-plated everything or the price tags that could fund a college degree. It was the emotional toll, the loneliness at the top, the isolation behind the wealth, and the constant pressure to keep the image alive. This is not just about luxury cars and caviar. It's about perspective. What does 24 hours as a billionaire teach you about life as the rest of us live it? Buckle up, because the answers might surprise you. This is the full story of what it's like to live like a billionaire for one unforgettable day, and it starts the moment I open my eyes. I woke up to silence. The kind of silence only a $15,000 a night penthouse can afford. No traffic, no alarms, just floor-to-ceiling windows flooding the room with golden sunlight and a panoramic view of the city skyline. My bed? It felt like sleeping on a cloud made of Egyptian cotton and ego. And before I could even stretch, a soft knock. My personal butler, yes, that's a real thing, arrived with breakfast, truffle omelet, gold-dusted pancakes, and coffee brewed from beans that had apparently taken a world tour before landing in my cup. Outside, a Rolls-Royce waited with a driver named Pierre, who spoke 5 languages and called me sir with a straight face. I didn't even have to open my own door. Inside the car, the seat massaged my back while Pierre navigated me through a city I suddenly felt disconnected from. We pulled up to a members-only spa, where I was whisked away into a multi-hour treatment that included a diamond-infused facial. Yes, diamonds, on my face. At this point, it was clear this wasn't just luxury, it was a curated fantasy, and I was its temporary king. By noon, I wasn't just living like a billionaire, I was flying like one. We arrived at a private airfield where a sleek Gulfstream G650 stood waiting. No lines, no boarding passes, no TSA. Just a red carpet and a glass of Dom Perignon handed to me the second I stepped out of the Rolls. Inside the jet, the leather was softer than my bed back home, and the vibe, effortlessly elite. I kicked back with a personal chef, preparing a mid-flight sushi spread, while a flight attendant asked if I'd prefer Fiji or Voss. That was a real question. We soared toward the coast and within an hour landed at a private villa nestled on a cliff with views so dramatic they looked fake. Waiting there was a custom itinerary, helicopter tour, yacht cruise, and even a quick Ferrari joyride through the hills. It was like the entire world had been choreographed for my entertainment. Every moment was designed to dazzle, to convince me that this life, this level of access, was normal. But behind the thrill, I started to feel something strange creeping in. A disconnect. The more perfect it got, the more surreal it started to feel. The afternoon began with a wardrobe change, because apparently being rich also means never wearing the same thing twice. My stylist, yes, stylist, had pre-selected a $12,000 outfit that looked effortlessly casual but screamed exclusivity. Every label, designer, every thread, probably rarer than some endangered species. First stop, an invitation-only boutique where nothing had price tags. If you had to ask, you couldn't afford it. I didn't ask. I just nodded, and they rang it up, casually charging more in a minute than most people earn in a month. From there, it was off to a 5-star spa that overlooked the ocean. I was exfoliated, massaged, moisturized, and wrapped in seaweed while listening to live harp music. Seriously. For lunch, we dined in a glass-ceilinged garden with a world-famous chef preparing every bite tableside. Caviar on everything, edible flowers, sauces I couldn't pronounce. The waiter explained each dish like it was art, and maybe it was. Each forkful felt less like food and more like theater, but amid the flavor explosions and flattery, I started to notice no one says no to you, ever. And that, oddly enough, started to feel unsettling. As the sun dipped, the tempo shifted. Nighttime in the billionaire world doesn't mean winding down. It means turning up in ways most of us can't imagine. I changed into a tailored tuxedo delivered by courier, not rented, owned. Then I was chauffeured to an exclusive rooftop gala where champagne flowed like tap water and the guest list looked like the Forbes cover. Models, moguls, crypto kings, everyone oozed status. Conversations danced between art investments, space tourism, and custom-built islands. I tried to keep up, smiling through sips of vintage wine older than I was. People were polite, but distant, like they'd mastered the art of small talk, but forgotten how to be real. Later, we hit a high-roller casino, private table, no lines, just velvet ropes pulled back and chips worth more than my car. I played a few hands for the thrill, but watching someone lose $250,000 in under 2 minutes, that snapped me back to earth. Everything glittered. But behind the glitz, there was an odd emptiness, a hunger not for money, but for meaning. I was surrounded by people who had it all, yet many seemed bored, or worse, numb. Back at the penthouse, city lights shimmering below, I finally had a moment to breathe. The noise, the indulgence, the constant attention. It was exhilarating, but also exhausting. For 24 hours, I had everything: power, beauty, comfort, attention. But what I didn't expect was how isolated I'd feel by the end of it. When everyone says yes to you, when everything is done for you, a weird numbness sets in. Choices start to feel meaningless. Time blurs. There's no urgency, no hunger to strive for something, because it's all handed to you. And that might sound like heaven, but it's a trap. Without struggle, without limits, you lose touch with what matters. I missed the little things, the randomness of real life, spontaneous laughter, earning something instead of just buying it. Money gives you freedom, no doubt, but it can also build walls. It separates, it insulates. Living like a billionaire gave me perspective. It wasn't just the lifestyle I saw, it was the cost of it, not in dollars, but in depth. And when the lights dimmed and the suite went quiet, I realized something. Being rich isn't the same as being fulfilled. So, what did I learn living like a billionaire for 24 hours? It was extravagant, jaw-dropping, and yes, unforgettable. I saw the world from a level most of us only dream about. But while the views were incredible, the biggest insight didn't come from the luxury, it came from the contrast. Living like that for a day made me appreciate my everyday life in a whole new way. The hustle, the spontaneity, the laughs that aren't scheduled. Luxury is fun, no doubt, but it's not the goal. Experiences are richer when they're earned, not bought. And connection, that's the real currency. Would I do it again? Absolutely. But I'd never trade my reality for that illusion. Because the truth is, you don't need a private jet to feel rich. Sometimes wealth is knowing you're living your life on your terms, fully awake, connected, and real. Thanks for coming on this wild ride with me. If you enjoyed this journey and want to see more crazy challenges, real stories, and unexpected lessons, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment. Who knows? Maybe next time I'll try living like a monk for 24 hours. See you in the next one.
One day to live and I'm craving more. Gold in my veins, I'm untouchable now. King of the moment, I'm taking my vow. This high won't last, but I'll ride till it's gone. 24 hours till the break of dawn. Caviar dreams in a crystal haze. Watches ticking in a gilded maze. Champagne rivers as the night ignites. We're riding legends